Hi friends, this is Sarah from Crafting and Relaxing. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today. This video is to help us kick off the new year right. It is the morning of January 1st and I'm making this video. You're not going to see any cards. We're not going to do a process video. We're going to talk about our word for the year and goals a little bit. And you will see some mixed media projects because I'm going to show you my art journal pages for last year. I pick a word for the year. I didn't come up with that. You can Google one little word. I think it might have been Allie Edwards or somebody else. I pick a word. When you choose your own word, you're going to think about where you are now. For example, I blogged about it last time. So on Crafting and Relaxing, I have a blog. I am not a good blogger. I'm like the worst blogger ever. My word for 2018 was rest. And I broke it down into these: relax, exercise, simplify, time for me. So it actually stood for something. And the reason that I did that was 2017. I mean, it wasn't like a crisis type year or anything. It was a burnout year for me. I worked too much. I didn't make time for people that I love. I just worked and worked and worked and worked and worked. And when I looked at it, I thought, I can't keep this up. That's why 2018, my word was rest. That's a really ironic word for me. Anyone who knows me probably thought that would have been hilarious had they been actually paying attention or reading my blog, because I don't stop. Doing nothing is not something I'm good at. So then for 2019, if you put it in perspective and you think about where I was in my life, and that's what you're doing with your word, is you're thinking about what do you want to focus on. So my word is something positive. It's something that I think when I look back, it will make my year better. So 2019, my word was rise. And the reason I chose that was not so much because I laid down the year before, but I was resting, I was recovering, and I was a little bit, this is a lot of sharing, right? I put up with a little bit too much in my life in 2018 with my word as rest. Does that make sense? Maybe I didn't stand up for myself all the times that I should have. Maybe I didn't take all the opportunities that I should have. So in 2019, my word was rise, which, by the way, makes beautiful art journal pages. But that can't really, it isn't really how I picked my word. But look at this. This one turned out fabulous. Here's another one. These are wood stickers. And this is, I think this is alcohol ink and washi tape and some thickers. This is my favorite one. I'll show you. This one was like the screen on my phone. So a great big star. And I wrote 2019 right in it. I didn't write the actual day I did it, but there might be a video. And it has, this is probably some color shift paint, but it might be metallics. And I used a stencil. This is washi tape that's sheer, a little bit sheer, so the color has showed through slightly. If you watch my channel, you know how I feel about blue and stars. So I make pages, art journal pages, with my word in it to remind me about it, to inspire me. I just sort of work it in. I think this was a good word for me for 2019 because I did a better job standing up for myself in some situations where I just hadn't done it. That was my word for 19. I've been thinking about my word for 20. And I've gone back and forth a little bit, and I thought about, and I look them up, and I look up synonyms, and I think about them for a couple days, and I might jot them down in my planner or my journal. I don't just wake up and instantly know. So if you're having trouble coming up with your word, that's fine. If you don't think of your word till the end of January, that's fine. But it's another way, like setting goals, to help you work through things and improve things. Now, don't be confused. I do have a sign in my craft room that says, let life happen. That's because I have a tendency to try and control things and overplan, and that's so I'll be open-minded. But having goals and a word helps you bring in more of what you need and not just see where the day takes you. If you do that every day, you're going to be right where you are at the end of next year. And maybe you don't like it. Maybe your health isn't what you want it to be, or your family, or your significant other. I don't know. So my word for 2020 is going to be joy. And the reason that I picked joy is I thought about delight and I thought about bliss. I have a stamp that says bliss and I really like bliss. But when I looked them up and I looked up the meaning, bliss is like everything is wonderful all the time. And I did like delight. But I'm going to choose joy. And the reason that I'm going to choose joy is a couple things. When I was going through a haul recently, I said, you can have joy all year long. It's not just in Christmas stamps. And that kind of stuck in my brain. And so I've been thinking about joy. The other thing is the word I'm looking for it's not that I'm going to be happy all day, every day, and everything's going to be sunshine and daisies. It's that whatever I'm doing, I'm going to find the joy in it. Does that make sense? So let me give you a couple examples. And they're things that happen around my house. Every once in a while, I watch the old dog Pooh Bear go and dig up a flower bed. And she takes all of the dirt, she trenches it like she's putting in a sprinkler system, takes all of the dirt and puts it out on the driveway. That is one of those things that I can watch and find joy in because I'm so happy she keeps waking up in the morning. You know what I mean? And I think you can find joy in just about anything if you look at it right. Instead of being stressed out that, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to clean that up and it's going to make mud all over. And just clean it up. Or, I don't know, leave it if it's a sunny day and it makes her happy. She moves on though. She doesn't care if you put the dirt back. So that's what I'm looking for, is finding the joy in things. And if you use a word in your projects, it reminds you, right? It's not, for me, my word for the year isn't something that I talk about in January and then we move on. I'm curious to see, did I date? No, I'm terrible about that, you guys. In some of my art journals, I'm really good about dating things. In this one, it doesn't seem like I've dated any of the pages. If you haven't seen this book, this is what I call my blue journal. And there are a couple of videos about working on it. It is my blue junk journal made specifically for me. It was a pretty big attempt for me to do a 3-signature book, but I had this paper. I think Andy.mess made this paper, and it was just, I knew it had to be for me. Who else would appreciate this like me? So pretty much everything in here is blue. There's some other stuff, but it's all sentimental, and it's probably stuff that you would have thrown away. But it just makes me happy. Like just seeing this on my shelf makes me happy. I have other art journals, but that's my only blue. And I don't really experiment with techniques in there. It's more of, I think, what you'd call like a smash book. This paper makes me happy, put it in. So that is going to be my word, and I'm sure you'll see it in some art journal pages. I am not very good about putting my art journal pages on my YouTube channel. I think it's because they're a little more personal. They're a lot more messy. There's process, there's dry time, that sort of thing. P has asked me to show more mixed media in the coming year, so I will keep that in mind. I think I'm pretty good about putting photos of art journal pages on Instagram. The other thing I want to talk about is goals. If you're setting goals for the year, I know a lot of people are talking about crafty goals. Google SMART. Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound goals. If you really want to set goals and you want to be successful in the coming year, your goal can't be, I'm going to lose weight. How will you know if you won? How will you know if you did it? I'm going to use more of my paper. Well, if I didn't count how much paper I used last year, how will I know if I did a better job? So my goals are specific. I'm going to participate in No Paper Left Behind. Measurable. I'm going to do it 11 months out of the year. I don't think I care which 11, but it's a pretty safe bet I'm not doing December. Achievable. I mean, that's a realistic goal. When I have too many goals, maybe they get less realistic. Relevant. It's relevant to me. It's results-based. I like it. And it's time-bound. If I'm not done by December 31st with 11, then we know it didn't work. Shopping less, that's not measurable. How will you know? For me, I haven't formulated my shopping goal exactly, and you'll see a goals video from me. I'm participating in Crafty Goals with Amalia challenge for the year, so you'll see my goals video, I think next weekend or something like that. But my shopping goal, I think, is going to be something about, I'm probably going to have at least a couple months where I don't just go to a store by myself and buy something. It's going to have to either be an experience with a friend, right? Because I'm not going to skip shopping with a friend from out of state just because I'm on a freeze, or secondhand. So those reuse stores, I'm still coming, estate sales, that kind of thing. I think I might have exclusions for those. Last year I did a month with a $10 limit and it had to be secondhand. That was really fun. I think in the end I stuck to the $10. I know I stuck to the secondhand. But I saw a couple things at estate sales that I would not have wanted to pass up. Happy New Year. Really think about what you're looking for from this year. Thanks so much for watching and enjoy your day. A lot of you probably don't have to work. Bye-bye.